Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me okay? Excellent, excellent. Well, happy Flag Day, everyone, and welcome to our June Town Hall meeting. Somebody's telling me I'm too loud. Am I too loud for you? I don't know, Tibor was telling, I don't know, I was getting message from Tibor over there. I'm known to speak loudly, and I get hollered at by my wife and children frequently. My wife teases it's an occupational hazard. She understands because she works in a similar environment. I just say I've just always been loud, so there's not much I can do. Anyway, welcome to June Town Hall meeting. We have a very full agenda as always. A lot of information to share, a lot of things to talk about. So we are going to get the show on the road, and we're going to start with our administrator, Debbie Shapiro, who's going to give us an update about Village Point. Welcome, Debbie.
I didn't realize you filmed this.
Oh yeah, you're on YouTube.
Come on, Boomer.
I'm going to tell your kids, your daughters.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? It's summer, it's sun's out. So just a little update about Village Point. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Space bar.
So our census is creeping up slowly. Our average census last month was 105. Good stuff, right? Right. Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go.
I'm a boomer, so I'm really. So we have the 4 neighborhoods. Aspen is our subacute. We're at 25. Evergreen 29. We have like a full house on our Evergreen unit. Aspen is very a fast-paced unit. Sandalwood 26 and Willow we're 28. So we're doing pretty good. The next report is about infectious disease. Infection prevention is the big buzzword in our industry, in the healthcare industry, right? We all hear about flu, COVID, RSV. The new buzzword is MDROs, multi-drug resistant organisms. Okay, there's many of those superbugs out there, so we have to practice infection prevention. So we have a full-time infection preventionist, Rich Varel, in our building, and he also consults with your community here. I'm happy to say that we don't have any bugs in our building right now. We're clear. We are practicing enhanced barrier precautions. It's a new directive from the Department of Health and CDC. Anyone that has an indwelling catheter, feeding tube, ileostomy, anything like that, we as staff members have to practice enhanced barrier precautions, which means if we just go in the room to speak to the resident, we don't have to wear anything, but if direct contact, we have to wear a gown and gloves. This way we don't expose those folks to anything. And big events that have happened at Village Point was Nurses Week. We celebrated with luncheons, everyone got a gift, entertainment, so that was a whole week. Every day we did something. We had many luncheons, they all got a nice gift, they were very happy. And we are now in the midst of CNA Week. We ordered some bags for them and mugs for the guys, and we're gonna have some big luncheons next week just to recognize our folks for all the service and all the great work that they do. Any questions?
All right.
No? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
It's always good to see that things at Village Point are busy. We do remain, as Debbie said, pretty full and pretty busy over there at Village Point. Our average occupancy, as Debbie said, in May was 105. This month we're a little closer to 108 halfway through the month. That's about 90% occupied at Village Point, and the average for a nursing home is about 75% occupied. So that tells us a lot about our standing in the market and the position that we have as a premier skilled nursing and rehabilitation facility. And that really speaks highly to our team over there and is a great thing for all of us to have as a resource in the event we should ever need that kind of care and service. So it's really great to continue to see that kind of occupancy and the kinds of outcomes that we're having over there at Village Point. We're very lucky to have a community like that literally right across the street. So, all right, next up we're going to move from Village Point over to our independent living part of the world, and we're going to welcome our Regional Director of Sales for Central New Jersey, Mr. Nathan Perez.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, here we go. All right, so we will start with a roll-up of where we are year to date. So far this year, we have a goal of 27 sales or deposits. Unfortunately, we only have 10 so far, so we're pretty significantly behind there. That is something that we've been seeing kind of stack up all year. Closings, we have a goal of 21 at this point in the year, and we have 15 year to date. Our pipeline so far has about 4 or 5 more move-ins. Inquiries and re-inquiries are still on track, so I'll be spending a little bit more time here going forward for the next several months to kind of dig into some of the data and assist the sales team in any way, and operations team in any way that we can. So you'll see a little bit more of me, whether you like that or not.
We do.
Like I said, we'll be working with the sales and ops teams on some areas of concern, any way we can help support. We're also developing a plan for some temporary additional support to the sales team besides just myself. We want to kind of go in with an all-in approach to make up for some lost time and revenue, honestly, for the past several months. We do have some targeted incentives that are being offered. They are going to run out in June, so we're kind of taking a look at what's being offered in the market right now at our sister communities, what's working for us in the past, and we'll repackage those and offer some time-sensitive incentives to try to drive some sales forward. We're also adjusting some of our event and direct mail plan. I'm going to tweak it a little bit and kind of hit some areas with some lead generation that maybe we haven't hit before, just to try to see if we can bring some new folks in to fill our larger apartment homes. And then we do have a testimonial project underway. If our home office marketing team has not already contacted some of you, then they will be shortly. I have a list of about, I think we have 8 residents between single folks and couples, eight groups of residents that we wanted to identify to have a testimonial from, and as well as a photo and a collateral piece, just to kind of update our testimonials, maybe get some of the newer faces of people and newer stories that have been moving in recently onto our website and into our direct mail and collateral for our sales folks to use. So we're doing a little bit of everything just to kind of address where we are and being a little bit behind for the year. I have faith though. How else you can help? You can always, I always say this, everyone's part of the welcoming committee, so any sort of unsolicited testimonials that you can provide to prospective residents, whether they are with our sales folks and you see us touring through the community, if you want to stop and say, hey, I've been here for X amount of years or months and I love it, or here's what I love about it, you please do that. That really does help people a lot more than, frankly, some of the things that the sales folks are going to tell them. That really does go a long way. And of course, if you see them eating alone in the bistro or with their family in the bistro or in the dining room to test out the food, just to stop by, just to say, hey, I see that you're touring with marketing. Welcome to the community. I love it here. Here's what I like. Please help us in any way you can, as I know you guys always do. We always appreciate that. And then our referral program, we have a very generous referral program. If you have any friends or family that are of the age, which is 55 and over, that are looking to make a lifestyle change, that you feel might need a more social environment, a more active environment, or a plan in place for their future years, by all means refer them to us. If they end up moving to the community, we will pay you 1 monthly fee out of our budget. All right, that is always on the table. If you feel like, I'm not doing it for that, I'm doing it more to bring a good friend in and help the community, and you want to defer that monthly payment back to your referral, we can do that. Or we can help pay for their moving costs to help them get in sooner with that budget. All right. Another reminder about our recommendations and testimonials online, or reviews online. The more reviews you can provide to us, the better the story is out there about Monroe Village, so please keep those positive referrals coming to us. If you don't know how to put something online, just come see Eugene. He's walked, I think, about 5 or 6 folks through how to place a recommendation and review online. I know not everybody is tech savvy, and you may not have a Gmail account, but there is a way to still leave a review on Google, even without a Gmail account, and Eugene can walk you through the steps of that if you feel like you need a little more hand-holding. All right? If you feel like you can handle it on your own, then these QR codes are placed throughout the community. They are at a couple of the bulletin boards, as well as at the front there in the mailroom on our information board on the wall. You can always just scan this using a smart device, and it will take you right to the option to place either a Facebook or Google review on your own. But again, if you're not familiar, just sit with Eugene and he'll walk you through it. And finally, we do have some folks that have joined us recently in the community. So I always like to say welcome to the family, to folks that have moved in since our last report. So welcome to the family, Pat Koster and Jerry Kraftjack, Sherry Kirshner, Ann and Stanley Schwartz, Phyllis Har-Sulfer, Elaine Bahadurian, Carol Keentz, and Marion Bachner. Welcome to the family and the community. Thank you so much, and as always, thank you for your support. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nathan. So Nathan mentioned about, checking things out on Google and Facebook and all those kinds of things. And, I would strongly encourage you to take a look at the Monroe Village Facebook page if you are at all interested in that. There are all kinds of things posted on that, not quite daily, but certainly several times a week. Highlights of events, things we're doing, upcoming programs. A lot of the photos that we show at our town hall meeting, you may find some of them posted on Facebook as well. So you might be an internet celebrity and you don't even know it. So take a look. You might go viral, as they say. That's a good thing, by the way, not a bad thing, okay? So yeah, check out all the Facebook page, and I'm gonna brag a little bit. I sometimes check out the Facebook pages of some of our other sister communities and some of our competitors. I don't know what they do all day, because we got something going on every day, and we're highlighting it here, there, and everywhere. So if you're looking for something to do, we got it. And you're gonna hear about it either before or after the fact on Facebook. Because our Live Well team makes sure there's plenty to do, and then they brag about it. Steve Ween, our Live Well program manager, is here to tell us about all the good things that are coming up next. Here's Steve.
Thank you, Jay. That was a 10 for 10 for transition.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone, on Flag Day and the weekend before Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all those papas and fathers out there. And like Jay said, we are, I do the same thing. Look at some of the social media things and everything. And actually, I just spoke to Ashley too. She's off, but she does a great job. I'm more of a supporter role when it comes to the social media because no one likes my pictures.
Is that just
I'm a typical dad. Take bad pictures, so I'm sorry about that. But Ashley, and she's a great mom, so she takes good pictures. So let's get started. What's going on? And a quick announcement for today's. I just actually got a message before I got up here. We talked about infection control. Steve Pollock, who comes mostly every Friday to do some lectures or music, he has the flu, so he is not coming, okay? But we do have a program at 1:15. Crystal will be doing a live music performance. I don't know the details, as I said, that just happened like 20 minutes ago. So,
You pivot.
But yeah, we pivot.
Mhm.
Show must go on. But we are pleased to have also Saturday night. They've been coming here, I would say, maybe 15, 13 years. They usually do one show a year. Doreen, she sings, she dances, and her husband is called the Sax Man. So very lively show. Glad to have them back. Friday, June 21st, one of my favorite shows, West Side Story. So we'll have some music of the West Side Story at 1:15 in the auditorium. Wednesday, June 26th, we'll have our afternoon piano music matinee, 2 o'clock in the auditorium. Gina will talk more about June 26th, but that's a fun, big day. We are still trying to, entertain the masses, and we're hoping for good weather. And what we'll have is a show, so outside folks could be getting ready for Camp Day. And like I said, I'm not taking your thunder, Gina. You could talk more about Camp Day, obviously. Friday, June 28th, a lecture, 115 Auditorium, James Polk, and our expansion of America. Saturday, June 29th. Now this is also a slight change from the newsletter and calendar. Keith Spencer, great entertainer. He's gonna come back. He had a family commitment, so he reached out probably like a week ago saying unfortunately he had to reschedule. So we're still working on when we can get Keith back, because Keith is, I think, one of the best that we have here. So we actually have a new group, the Kells group. I might be mispronouncing. It's going to be a 3-man group. Trumpet player Stan, he's been here. So very excited to have that group come back, or first time, 7:15 in the auditorium. Tuesday, July 2nd, Pam Georgeson. Also, this is a little change. It's bittersweet. Usually, everyone should know, like by now, we have a couple foundation events. And Jenny Lee Stern, she's been off and on Broadway. So bittersweet. Jenny Lee Stern actually got a show on Broadway, so it's nice to have talent, right? So bittersweet. She'll be back, but she's a little busy doing that show right now. So we do have a sub Pam. So we're looking forward to have Pam here for the foundation show at 2:00 in the auditorium on July 2nd. Happy July 4th. There's a Thursday. Kathy Lord, she's also been coming to the community off and on in the last 4 years, but we talked and she'll love to be back, so we're going to have her 2:00 in the auditorium. Sometimes she might bring one of her music friends. Last time she was here, she had a great drummer. She had a great drummer friend, so we're always surprised with Kathy Lord. Saturday, July 13th, Jerry will be back. He's been here probably 3 times in the last 2 years. Does a good show, has the lights, plays electric guitar, sings. I always hear good things from Jerry's show. Saturday, July 27th, casino night. It's not real money, okay? We'll just start that on camera. The feds are watching. It's a fun night. We usually have, I was here last time, we did it in January. Seems like everyone loves blackjack, so we're making another table blackjack, not a poker table. We still will have one poker, but again, it's nice that I come to these events and just see what's changing, what people are interested in. So fun night. It's from 7 to 9. So it is like 2 hours, so just prepare yourself. But it is fun. I know many people always have a fun time because it's not real money, again, on camera. So you don't have to worry about that mortgage, okay? Wednesday, July 31st, our other monthly piano music matinee, 2:00 in the auditorium. And again, with all these shows and everything, I just want to thank our marketing department. We've had 2 lovely days already outside underneath the tent. That tent, marketing gets it for us. And it's great that we can work together, schedule this. We do a lot of planning. They have a big event this Tuesday, so we're excited to host and show off our community for our next round of people that will treat Monroe like a home, just like how you guys do right here. And we actually are using the space too Friday of our neighbors in assisted living. We're gonna have a nice picnic outside for them. Most of them have been here before, but some of them come in and they don't know that we have a lovely pond, so we kind of make it a field trip. So we get everyone there. And again, I would like to thank the dining service team to do the lunch. They do a great job for the AL folks for the picnic. And obviously, I'm not taking Matt's thunder, but I think everyone enjoyed Wednesday night under the tent too. And I don't want to We're just very, very great to have Matt and Marlon and the rest of the team here. I think I got everyone. I am be taking a little vacation in July, so if you don't see me, I'll be back. Okay? So happy Father's Day, Flag Day, and enjoy this nice weather. Thanks, everyone.
All right. So, I know sometimes we have some junior editors who assist, and I'm looking specifically at the camera, with the editing of our program. So I'm going to remind the 3 junior editors with the last name Ween that they have a wonderful father, and that they should wish him a fabulous Father's Day, lots of hugs and kisses, and fun. So there's my comment to the junior editors. My children are 21 and 18, and they don't do that anymore. So take it while you can get it. So anyway, I don't have a better transition than that because I don't have another father coming up. I do have a wonderful mother who's coming up next, who's going to tell us all about a lot of other good things that are going on here at Monroe Village. She also has older children who, well, now she has a grandchild for lots of hugs and kisses there. So anyway, I got nothing better, so I'm going to turn it over to Gina DePiro, Director of Resident Services.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, so every year, along with the summer solstice, the Alzheimer's Association celebrates the longest day. We've been doing this here since I've gotten here, so it's been for a very long time. This year, the longest day is on June 20th, and I know that Steve and his team have a cornhole tournament for the daytime, but in the evening, the Alzheimer's Association has asked us to be their host on the biggest day. So they'll be here in the evening for a really nice educational program. But it'll be fun because there'll be wine and desserts that Chef Marlon will be taking care of. And so you'll get some sweets, some treats, some education, and there'll also be some fun and creativity because there'll be mandalas. And if, for those of you who don't know what they are Indian outlies, and then what you do is you color them. So it's like adult coloring, but it's a very specific pattern. And the idea is that when you're coloring it in, it actually helps with the transmitters of the brain. So they find that mandalas are very good for the brain. So you'll be able to color in your mandala and listen to the presentation, which is actually by our very own Saswati, who sits on one of the boards of the Alzheimer's Association. She is, some of you know her if you had to go from the hospital to our rehab center at Village Point. She is our case manager. So she has a wonderful program about keeping healthy both your body and your brain. It's a lot of fun, and it starts here in the club room, 6:30 to 8:30, and sign up is at the concierge desk. And I want to thank, they're also doing a silent auction on art that you've made, and I want to thank several of you who have donated or are going to donate your art for this to raise extra money for them. It's very, very kind of you, and the association is very appreciative. On the 26th, I know Steve already kind of hinted a lot about it, but on the 26th will be our 4th annual camp day. I can't believe it's been 4 years already. For those of you who go, you know it's a lot of fun. We have music, games, crafts. You have a choice of chicken or shrimp boil dinner, and of course s'mores. I love when it's that part of the event because you all look so cute with your chocolate and your marshmallows all over your face, and you say, "Don't take a picture, don't take a picture." It's great, but we do. The requested donation is $5. Sign up is at the concierge desk, and when you sign up, please let them know whether it's chicken or shrimp. I know some of you have dietary reservations, so please let them know. Also, for you sports lovers, Somerset Patriots, we are trying to see if there's interest in a bus trip. We need at least 5 to make it worth bringing in Maria for the extra time. It is a August 27th game at 6:35 p.m. The tickets are $18.50 each, and it's the AA New York Yankees, and they will be playing the AA Phillies. So it'll be a big rivalry. If you're interested, let the front desk know, and if we have enough people, then we'll contact everybody, and you can bring your money for the tickets, and we'll take care of it. And that's August 27th at 6:35. Lastly, so usually we have an Alzheimer's walk for Middlesex County, and it's down in Hamilton. It's always been for a long time down in Hamilton at Veterans Park. I received a call the other day that said, "Hey, I have really great news. We moved the walk." And I thought, dear God, where did you move it now? And they said, around the corner from you. It's right here at Thompson Park. So on September 8th, I believe it is, yes, at 10 a.m., they will be doing their walk. If you'd like to participate, or you just want to go and watch and cheer your friends on who are walking, it's a fun day, and it's right here. It's very convenient. So that'll be on September 8th. Have a wonderful Flag Day today, a beautiful Father's Day, and I'll see you around the village. Thank you. How are you?
All right, thank you, Gina. So you can see we've got a lot of partnership with the Alzheimer's Association, and it's a really wonderful, wonderful relationship that we have with them. To be able to welcome them into our community, for them to be able to sponsor programs for all of you, it's really great. And I think you all know that that is a relationship that's very close to Gina's heart, and she's worked hard to foster that over the years. So there's a small part of me that says the walk being moved from Hamilton to Monroe maybe had a little something to do with Gina, but I can't confirm that. But they won't deny it either, let's put it that way. So please participate if you can in any of those Alzheimer's Association events, be it the Longest Day program we'll be having, be it the evening event on June 20th. Those who've donated the artwork, thank you so much. The camp day, again, we're going to be soliciting donations for the Alzheimer's Association. And then, of course, the walk coming up in September. So all great things for us as a community to be a part of. All right. So next, I'd like to invite Anthony Jones, our Director of Housekeeping Services, to come up to the podium. Those who brought your tomatoes, this is your opportunity. I'm just kidding, but Anthony wanted to take the time to speak with all of you this morning and share a little bit about what's been going on in his department and with his team. So with that, please welcome Anthony.
Good morning, everyone. So first of all, I would like to apologize to the community and all of its residents for any discrepancies in your services that you've been dealing with the past 2 months or so. We've been faced with a lot of challenges, but eliminating excuses. None of you guys or ladies should be privy to what's going on in the housekeeping department when it comes to shortness of staff. That's not something you should be burdened with or even have knowledge of. That's something that I should be dealing with, and making sure that your services are not interrupted regardless of the staffing issues. So again, I would like to apologize to anyone that schedule was interrupted or the communication wasn't there or there was miscommunication. Moving forward, we want to eliminate all of that and just try to make sure that everything is running as scheduled and we're all communicating and on the same page, and there's no last minute surprises. With that being said, staffing updates. We have hired some new staff. We do have some support from agency staff as well, because I wasn't able to hire as many Spring Point employees as I wanted to. But I'm working on that. I actually have some interviews set up to fill some empty slots and positions. Right now, we're in good standings. We have more than enough individuals. You may see them floating around, cleaning windows, doing rugs, doing carpets, things like that. Right now, we're working on projects and the community, common areas, appearances around the facility and the community. And as some of you know, I've been getting some of your yearly cleanings done, which is something that hasn't been done in a while. It's been put on the back burner. But if you see me in the community and you're due for a yearly cleaning, you can call to schedule, you can stop me and let me know, and we can set something up. We have a few set up for this weekend. For those of you who don't know and that are familiar with John will be coming back this Saturday. So he's one of the gentlemen that actually does it. Everybody loves, I know everyone loves John. So yes, he'll be back tomorrow. He'll be the one that'll be doing a lot of the yearly cleanings, him and Gus. And that's pretty much it. But again, I would like to apologize to everyone, because I mean that, and you shouldn't have to have any lack of, your apartment being cleaned properly, or us calling you and letting you know we're running late. So that's all on me. As the director of the housekeeping department, I have spoken with the staff and we've communicated, and hopefully we can do better and see better changes in the very near future. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Anthony.
No problem.
Yeah, we know it's been tough for several of our residents, and we apologize for that. As Anthony said, we don't look to make excuses, but our housekeeping team has been very depleted from a staffing standpoint, and recruiting and hiring folks is still difficult in a lot of different ways, and we're not willing to just hire anybody who comes in off the street. We want to make sure we get good caliber individuals to serve you, so we're continuing to work on that. And we appreciate your patience and apologize for any service failures that we have had. All right. Or not. All right, we'll do it that way. All right, next up is another familiar face, one that I think you've all met once or twice, or 27 or 100 million times, I don't know. Our wonderful, wonderful friend from the Foundation, Miss Susan Sino.
Well, hello, I have to move the microphone all the way down. Hi, I'm Susan Sino, and you all look like you need a little joke, so I have one for you. It's short and sweet. Bear with me. I'm not the expert joke teller. I had to practice in the mirror. So there was this burglar. He breaks into a house. He's looking around with his flashlight, and he hears, "Jesus is gonna get you." The burglar turns with the flashlight, and he sees this bird. And he looks at the bird. He goes, "Did you say that?" And the bird goes, "Yep." The burglar says, "What's your name?" The bird says, "My name is Moses." The burglar says, "What crazy people would name a bird Moses?" The bird said, "The same people that named a 150-pound Rottweiler Jesus."
Very good. That is good.
Thank you. You look like you need a little picking up. So, I am here from the Spring Point Foundation. I am your Monroe Village representative. So, before I go into what we do, I want to share with you, you all received your letter from me asking for donations. But before we get into that, why don't I tell you how we celebrate you for your donation? Would you like that?
Absolutely.
How do we celebrate, right? Every year. So why don't we do that? This is what last year looked like. Last year, we turned this room into a Venetian carnival. You came in, you saw the bridge, you had the boat guy, we gave everybody masks. Yes, thank you very much there. I took John. I had a little minute there. And we gave everybody a mask. You got to pick out which one you wanted. We laughed, we had trivia. Marlon, your head chef, had 3 amazing pieces of decadent food for you to taste, and he did an amazing demonstration. So, simply, what is Foundation Day? It is the day where we celebrate you, the Monroe Village residents who have donated. And your donation stays here to help you and your neighbors. We just celebrate you and we make it fun. So here are 2 of the main things that most of you give to. So I'm going to read this, but I think you all know it, but I'm going to read it anyway just to remind you. Monroe Village residents, you make magic happen to those in need. For Monroe residents, you provide peace of mind as a neighbor runs out of money because they lived much longer than they expected, and it's not their fault. For all the residents and employees in your community here at Monroe Village, you give to the spiritual care program, where our chaplain Jenny is the quiet guidance and support we all need to keep our balance. I thank you all for donating, and I thank you all for your future donations. But before I go, I want you to see some photos from last year. Some of our donors who had so much fun. And that's what we want here. The foundation is the heart of you give to yourself and we bring it back to you. It's all about helping each other. Your neighbors, yourself. We bring activities that Steve coordinates. We did the luau here. We just want to bring you joy. So we need your help to continue the joy. Do you want to know what this year's theme is?
Yes.
Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah? Alrighty. So this year's theme, we are turning it upside down.
Uh-oh.
Upside down. We are going to do a 1920s. Yeah. Flapper girls. Ooh. Gangsters. Anybody want to wear your hat? We are going to have so much fun. All about the bootleg, and we're going to turn this room into a speakeasy. And we're going to have a whodunit. Sort of like a murder mystery, but it's not going to be a murder mystery. It's going to be who stole the bootleg whiskey. And you are all suspects. So I will be here after if you have any questions, and you know how to get a hold of me. If you don't, you can ask any of the staff and they can find me for you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Susan. So again, through your generous donations to the foundation, you help support others. You help support the Monroe Village family here, and you can help support the Spring Point family at large, depending on where you want your donation to be directed. The ability to have something like this, the ability to have a spiritual life program, a chaplaincy program, the ability to have Jenny here with us and others, that's something that a lot of other communities like ours don't have. They don't have that opportunity or that ability. We do here. We do at Monroe Village, and it's because of your generosity. And I cannot thank you all enough for that, to support that program, as well as our Resident Assistance Fund, our Tomorrow's Leaders program for internships, and for our affordable housing programs as well. We do wonderful, wonderful things at the foundation, none of which would be possible without your support. So a round of applause for all of you. Thank you so very much. Now, one of the things the foundation helps with is if you run out of money through no fault of your own, because you've lived a long and healthy life. Ed, they've lived a long and healthy life. Okay, well, you're not moving fast enough. Who helps us live a long and healthy life? Our clinical services folks, led by our Director of Clinical Services, Ed Petrowski.
Hello everyone, happy early Father's Day to the fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers. If they don't treat you right, cut them out of the will. Summer's here. Please, when you're outside, use sunscreen. If you're gonna put it on 30 minutes before you go outside. If you have the spray type, do it over a carpet. Don't do it on the hardwood floor or a tile floor because you'll have an ice rink then in your room and slip and fall. Wear light, breathable clothing. When you come in and shower, check for ticks. Wear a large brim hat and gloves when you're outside gardening. Try and get one of the little seats that you could sit on or a 5-gallon bucket. Try not to bend over because then you're gonna, unfortunately, maybe fall over. For our walkers, which I see you zip by every now and then by my window, walk early in the morning or late in the evening. The sun is strongest from 10 to 4, so try and go before or after. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I say it every time I'm here. Water is good for you in the summer. You're gonna be sweating more, even breathing, you're losing oxygen. And I know probably a bunch of you are on water pills. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Subdural hematoma. Does anyone know what that is? That's one. All right. When you bump into something or fall over, some of you get bruising. That could happen on the inside of your head. If you fall and hit your head, this is why the nurses always ask you, did you hit your head? If you could bruise easy on the outside and you see it, it's possible on the inside. If you get a brain bleed, we can't see it. No one could see it. You have to go to the hospital. So be safe. That's what we want. If you're on blood thinners, aspirin, it all increases your risk. Report all falls, no matter how significant, insignificant you think it is. We just want you safe. If you don't see the IL nurse, call the front desk. Someone will get in touch with somebody. What do you do if you don't see one of your neighbors for a couple days? Please look out for one another. If you don't see a friend or neighbor for a day, 2 days, if you know they haven't went nowhere, let someone know. If your breakfast buddy doesn't show up, or someone for cards, excuse me, or for one of your games, your Mahjong, call, let someone know. We'll do an apartment check to make sure they're okay. They could have went out for the day with their family, or something else could have happened. We'd rather be safe and look out for one another. If someone doesn't follow their usual routine, it may be a medical emergency, like me probably having a stroke right now. Contact campus safety, concierge, IL nurse, or I know all you know how to get in touch with me. Remember, hydrate, 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 and don't think any fall is too small.
All right. Thank you, Ed. All good safety tips as we hit the summer season. Again, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate really is important. If you want to get outside on a beautiful day like today, make sure you're being smart, use that sunscreen. I just had my annual physical the other day, and the nurse practitioner who I see, she said to me, "You're using your sunscreen every day." I said, "Yes." But you need to say yes with confidence, not me who denied that I don't use it every day, because my wife yells at me about that too. But it's really important. But get out, enjoy the nice weather, but take the right precautions. That's how we all keep ourselves healthy. And by keeping tabs on one another, doesn't mean we're spying on one another, but if something's out of the norm, let us know so we can check on your friends. That's how a family supports one another. So please don't hesitate to let us know if something doesn't seem quite right with one of your friends. All right, moving along. We have a lot to share with Dining Services. We had a pretty good event on Wednesday night. What do you think, those who were there? Those who weren't there, I believe we have an encore event scheduled for next Wednesday. right?
That's
Next
correct.
Wednesday. So if you didn't get there last Wednesday, reservations will open up on Monday for this coming Wednesday. Try to get to it. That grill and chill event was a lot of fun. So with that, I'm going to turn over our Director of Dining Services, Matt Smith.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday.
Hey, Matt.
It's a beautiful day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there early, which we have another wonderful event planned on Sunday for Sunday brunch for Father's Day. Just going to review a little bit of what we've done in the past 2 months. We had a wonderful 2 Seder downstairs in the restaurant that we celebrated Passover. Then we had Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day brunch. We did the deli nights in the bistro, which everyone enjoyed as well. We did Pacific Islander specialty night, which was the luau. And then we did the Memorial Day brunch just a couple weeks ago. You guys know that we've done the spring summer menu. That started out way back in April. I can't believe it's almost the middle of June, almost the end of June. Please use the comment cards or when we're touching tables in the restaurant or in the bistro to give us feedback on what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see change. All your feedback is very valuable, whether it's negative or positive, so we can make an exceptional dining experience for all of you at both dining venues. Since the beginning of May, we've done the farmers market every other Wednesday. We pivoted with the time just to coincide with our deliveries. So we're going to start at 10 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock, just so that we make sure that the orders that we've made for the past 2 days is in-house, so we can provide you guys with some wonderful produce that we get from our local vendors. So once again, it'll be from 10 to 12 right outside the bistro. All right. We also offer outdoor seating. We have the wonderful picnic tables outside the restaurant facing the pond. Those right now are going to be used if you guys want to take a to-go order and join your fellow residents in the community to dine outside. Right now with staffing, we don't have the option to provide an outdoor dining experience except for those special events like Wednesday night when we did the grill and chill under the tent, and again next Wednesday night. Just a little bit of safety again. You guys are doing a great job with your walkers and your motorized scooters. Just be cognizant about walking paths in and out of the restaurant and also in the bistro, because the bistro is getting a lot busier. You guys have embraced the new menu that we have in the bistro, and I think we sometimes, when we get almost to capacity, we need to move the walkers outside. Move them outside the bistro so that we can have better serving ability. So please understand, it may take a little bit of time both in the restaurant and the bistro to get your walker or your motorized vehicle to you to leave. This is going to go for both the restaurant and the bistro. Please arrive on time for your reservations. It helps the ease of seating and the service. I only need one person in the party to check in, especially downstairs in the restaurant. Remember, safety is first. We've been talking about safety for the last couple months about it. Just check in, just use one. We don't need one to come in and then 5 minutes later another party member of your party come in and check again. That's why the lounge is there outside the restaurant. You can hang out there, wait till the host calls your table, and have your party come into the table. Since the bistro is becoming more and more popular, we're going to do the same thing for the bistro as well. Once we know that there's more reservations for the bistro, a lot of foot traffic starting to come in at 5 o'clock, we're going to pivot. We're going to have a host or a hostess / server welcome you in so we can have timely service instead of everyone just pouring themselves in at 5 o'clock, so that it takes longer for you to seat and we time the service a lot better. We're also having kitchen tours still every first Tuesday and third Tuesday of the month at 9 o'clock. You sign up with Diane at the concierge desk. We start right from the front of the restaurant. We'll show you from how the server takes your order to how it gets sent to the kitchen, how everything's prepared, and how it comes back out to the restaurant in the restaurant. So far, we've had 40 residents partake in this, and everyone has had a positive feedback on how, and mind-blowing how big the kitchen actually is downstairs, and how many meals we provide and make on a daily basis down in the restaurant. Just want to let everybody know, since we have the marketing event on Tuesday, we're going to pivot and cancel on Tuesday. As of right now, I know there was no residents that signed up for it, so Diane has canceled it for me so we can focus on the marketing event, but we'll hold it the following Tuesday. Contact information, if you want to give me a buzz, give me a call at 6424. Make any reservations with parties greater than 5. I'm going to emphasize that again. Parties of 5 or more in the bistro, 6432. Or make a to-go order. Reservation hotline, for downstairs in the restaurant, 6433. You can make a reservation or place a to-go order. And that's all I have. Enjoy the rest of your day and the weather, and I'll see you around the community.
All right. Let's see. We've been going at this a while now. We've still got more information to share. Lots and lots to talk about this month. So I have a few things that I'm going to review before we call it a day. And I want to start with a discussion, because I hear the rumors. And I want to talk about what is going to be a new optional, I stress the word optional, program in dining services for our residents. It is going to be called Spring Points. You've heard something about the Points program or the Points plan. I want to give you a little bit of an information today about it, but I want to be very clear that today is just a brief overview. We are going to hold small group meetings in the near future with residents so that we can have a dialogue and a discussion about the Spring Points program and how it may be of interest to you. So again, Spring Points, it's a flexible spending account that would allow you as a resident to spend, just like you would dollars, at your discretion in our dining venues, instead of the current 1 meal per day program. So it's just like when you would go to a regular restaurant. You order what you want, you pay for what you want. Instead of the meal being all encompassing, you can pick exactly what you want or what you don't want. And you can also use points any time of the day. Again, this is an optional program. Existing residents will have the choice of whether they would like to stay with their program as it is now, or they'd like to move to a point system. And we're going to give everybody a trial period with that as well. And again, more details to come about that. In the next few weeks, as I said, we will be holding small group meetings to discuss the details of the program. And again, we want to do it in small groups so it can be a discussion, it can be a dialogue, it can be a little bit of a show and tell and ask questions on an individual level that's a little bit difficult to do in a larger setting like this. As of now, we are planning to have this offer available to residents starting August 1st. A few groups that got the preview, you heard me say July 1st. I want to make sure we do this right, so we're going to push it back and we're going to start August 1st so that we can have plenty of time for those small group discussions, plenty of time for additional questions to be asked, plenty of time so that everyone understands where we're going with this. So again, a lot more information to come about the Spring Points program. It has been implemented at several of our sister communities, and it has been quite popular and quite successful. We've seen about anywhere from 80 to 90% of existing residents at other communities decide to take advantage of this program. But again, it's optional. The choice will be yours. And that's the key word there, choice. It's all about choice, and it's all about your individual choice, putting more power in your individual hands. That is the plan, and that is part of the goal behind the Spring Points program. So like I said, more details to come. Please keep your eyes and ears open. We will get that information out to you when we have those small group meetings. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk to everybody about were the results from the Hollerin Resident Engagement Survey. As you remember, we conducted a resident engagement survey back in March. It's hard to believe it's been 3 months, but it was back in March that we did that. Between March 8th and March 15th, we asked all of you as residents of Monroe Village a variety of questions, and we asked for a rating on a scale of 1 being very poor to 5 being excellent. And 167 residents of the 217 that we sent surveys to returned their survey with information. We thank you all for doing that. That yielded a response of 77.1% of all residents responding to the survey. Our goal was 75%, if you remember. So we just beat our goal, which is great. So in recognition of everyone's feedback and in celebration, we will be holding a special dinner on June 25th. So that's about, 11 days from now. There'll be a special menu, and it will be available to all residents in the Fireside Restaurant. And if we need to do the same thing as a special upstairs in the bistro, because we have so many people who want to be there, we will make sure everyone is accommodated on that night for the special celebratory dinner as a way for us to say thank you for providing your feedback. So what do we look at in this engagement survey? What engagement is it measures how well the community, which is us, supports the successful aging of our residents. So it looks at 4 different areas. By asking those questions that you responded to, we get data on 4 different areas of resident engagement. The first area is what's called voice, and that's your engagement and your involvement with the community. Then there's connection. Again, your engagement or your involvement with others around you. Fulfillment. That measures your feelings and your thoughts about engagement with what your life goals are. What are you looking to do? What are you looking to be a part of? And then finally, we look at engagement with respect to well-being. And that is how you engage with health and wellness on an individual level. The programs, the offerings, the opportunities, all of those sorts of things we look at. So our engagement scores, when we look at those 4 topics on a scale of 1 to 5, with respect to voice, we had an aggregate score of a 3.71. With respect to connection, we had an aggregate score of 4.10. Fulfillment, the aggregate score there was a 3.75. And with respect to well-being, the aggregate score was a 3.88. So we take all of that and they create what's called a resident engagement index. And that's a scale from 1 to 8. 1 being least engaged, 8 being so engaged you don't have time for anything. We scored as a community a 2, which is a little on the low side, to be honest, and a little bit surprising, but gives us something to understand and something to continue to work on. How do we find ways to allow residents to have more voice, more connection, more fulfillment, more well-being in your own personal way? That's how it all works. How do you connect individually on each of those engagement areas? So we need to continue to look at how we can create more opportunities for each of you in those areas. So, there we go. So what were our highest scoring factors? Staff friendliness. We hear about that all the time, how friendly the staff is, how wonderful the staff is. Specifically, the friendliness of the clinical staff, the experiences that you have with our nurses, with our doctors, with our aides, with those people who provide clinical services. And then our staff's respect for your privacy. That was another very high scoring factor. So I look at that and I say that what that demonstrates to me is that our relationship, and when I say our, that's all of us, as a family, is very strong. We care about one another. We support one another. The staff is here for our residents. You value the service that our staff provides to you. You recognize their efforts and you appreciate it. That's what a family is all about. And when I see those as being our highest scoring factors, that tells me that we've got a great family here that cares about one another, supports one another, and appreciates one another. While there are strengths, there are also things that are, to be worked on, like in any family, right? We've got things we need to improve on as a family. So where do we have some areas of opportunity? Well, I don't think I'm telling tales out of school when we recognize that our dining services program continues to be a work in progress. And while we have made positive strides, there is still more work to be done. We recognize that, and you have said that loud and clear. So we're looking at quality of food, temperature of food. We're also looking at our maintenance requests and how we can be more timely in our response to those. So what are our next steps? How do we try to move forward on those areas of opportunity? So our dining services team has put together some action plans to address some very specific areas that were identified in the survey. So I'm going to invite Matt to come back to the podium to talk a little bit about the action plans that he and Marlon and Tyra and Holly and the rest of the dining services team have put together with respect to the dining services program. So welcome Matt back, please.
So I've worked on, my team and I have worked on how to better the temperature of food. So we are going to be doing more thorough temperature taking when we're plating the food. We're also training our staff to, when all the food is plated, when you do the kitchen tour, we can explain a little bit more and have a better visual. When there's a heat lamp, when they're plating the food up, they put it on a heat lamp. We're going to be able to take a surface temperature and also internal temperature, and we're going to log those. So if it goes out lower than 135, because that's the average rate, average temperature of the food that's going to be going out. If it's lower than that, then we will not serve it, and we will make sure that it's being held correctly in the serve steam tables, and they need to be at least 145 in the steam table. If it's not, then the staff will be instructed on how to properly reheat or discard or bring out fresher food. Quality of food, I'm going to use as an example. There are times when we order items that are on our order guide and they don't come in what is on our order guide. They may be smaller. So the other night, for example, we had chicken thighs on. They're supposed to be 4 ounces. They came in a lot smaller than 4 ounces. So we sent them back, and we got 4 ounces from our secondary vendor to be adequate and what meets our needs and our recipes. There's other ones that we've done is, okay, at the time, instead of giving 1, we'll give 2 or 3 to be sufficient in the 4 to 5 ounce portion size that you're supposed to be getting based on the recipes. When we're plating food now, we're going to be taking photos and putting them into our recipe books so it is a consistent look for our cooks on how they're supposed to be plating the food, along with also the expediters and the expectation of what the plate is supposed to look like when it goes out to the resident, whether in the dining room or in bistro. The dining room service, we're continuing our training, and I know that our service has been a lot, and I'm going to emphasize, a lot better than it was about a year ago. And I see a lot of heads shaking yes. And we continue to do that. And we are going to reinstitute the training program that we have, which is a 13-week program. We're going to do one module, as we call, a week, review it with the staff. So we're going to do that for 13 weeks, do it again. So every 13 weeks we'll start fresh again. So we'll be doing this 4 times a year, throughout the whole year, but I'm saying 4 times the whole training will be done in a year. But it's going to be that next level thinking, though. It's going to be somewhat of the engagement satisfaction. John, I'm going to use you as an example. Seltzer water with lemon. It's that next service thinking of that server that sees John. Okay, John's going to be in my section tonight, and he's going to be seated at table 24. He's going to have his seltzer already sitting there waiting for him with the lemon on the bread plate. It's that enhancement. And that's what we need, that's what the next focus on. How to deliver beverages. Not like this over top with the glass when we're delivering, and I see a lot of smiles and chuckles. But that's some of the stuff that we need to think of when we're providing the service to the residents out here. I can say that the service is 100 times better than it was a year ago, and that's the positive feedback that we've been getting. And I see Barb shaking her head when we talk about it, not only individually but as a community with the dining committee meetings. The cleanliness of the dining room. We're going to start doing a weekly walkthrough with the other directors of the building to make sure that it looks nice, it's clean, any maintenance issues are addressed then and there. We do a deep clean every week, but there are some things that we need assistance with. So that's why we're going to do that. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to talk to me later on, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So thank you.
Thanks, Matt. So as you can see, we take your feedback very, very seriously, and we are developing comprehensive plans to continue to evolve and improve the services, not only in dining, but all throughout the community. I'd like to give a special nod to your Dining Services Committee and those who serve on that committee on your behalf. Their engagement, their feedback, their partnership in the discussions we have on a monthly basis is a big, big part of why we are continuing to evolve, because they are the conduit. They serve as your representatives, and the feedback that we get there, and then the dialogue and the discussion and the brainstorming that ensues later shows up in your dining experience. So having that voice, back to voice, is really, really important and really valued. And I'd just like to offer a round of applause to those who serve on the dining committee, because it's a big, big responsibility, right? Those who've been on it before and maybe aren't there anymore know what I'm talking about. And those who are there now, you know as well. So thank you for all you do. All right, with that, it's time to open up the old Monroe mailbag. All right, I got a letter this month that said John Scochin. Who knows John? No, not you, John. I'm just teasing John. John Scochin from our maintenance team was just here, it said, for a work order I placed. He is definitely a credit to the maintenance team and to Monroe Village overall. He was smiling and greeted me with a big hello and started working before I finished my hello. He was fast, neat, and nice. He cleaned up and took the garbage with him. I offered him a bottle of water, which he declined. Am I happy with his work? You bet I am. As I said before, I don't want for anything living here, because everything I want is here at my home in Monroe Village. So, absolutely. It's a lovely note to get, and unfortunately John couldn't join us this morning to brag about him, but I'll make sure he knows about this, and I'll catch up with him and give him a little reward in recognition of this lovely, lovely note that we received. So please continue to provide us with that feedback. I love sharing letters like this with all of you in recognition of members of our great, great team here at Monroe Village. So with that, we're going to bring the lights up, we're going to get the microphones out, and offer some opportunities for comments and questions. Don't forget, if you would like a copy of today's slides, they are available to you. You just have to reach out to Claudine in the administration office. As well as we alluded to several times, we record these meetings and they are played back from time to time and are available through the app on our YouTube channel. So not only can you be infamous on Facebook, you can be infamous on YouTube as well. So with that, John, how's it going, buddy?
The last person who called me buddy owed me a lot of money. Yeah, listen, Jay, I have a concern about the changeover in how our aides, the nurses' aides, are dispatched to the residents over here in the independent living area. Specifically because these aides are not equipped with walkie-talkies like the aides were before when Ed Petrowski was dispatching them directly from the clinic. I don't have a problem with who dispatches the aides, what company they work for. It matters nothing to me. What concerns me is the ability for someone to get their hands on them promptly.
Yep.
I was told when I spoke to the lovely woman who works in the Spring Point at Home office, Valina, I think her name is, very, very sweet lady, that we only need to call their answering service. Well, I'm sorry, but that doesn't give me, nor would I think it would give any residents here a very warm and fuzzy feeling who've utilized the aid services before, which I have, because I had an injury when I came here, and I utilized Annabella, who was, oh my God, she was golden. But the thing is, if the aid is running late, the resident is going to be concerned, and they're going to call an 800 number and leave a message with an answering service, and someone's going to get back to them. I'm sorry, but like I said, it doesn't give me, and I don't think it would give any resident here, the warm and fuzzy feeling. We knew if we could contact the front desk or the clinic, and they would be able to touch base with the aide immediately and call you back and say, listen, they're on an emergency, or what have you. Is it possible we could make that change with the new Spring Point at Home, that they could each be equipped with a walkie-talkie so that the front desk could contact them? I don't think that's a major thing to ask, Jay.
So I think the key there, John, is communication, right?
Yes.
Yes. So they may not carry walkie-talkies, but Spring Point at Home communicates with their aides via cell phone, because all of their aides are equipped with cell phones, and that's how they log their time, that's how they communicate with them, be it via voice or via text. So the ability to get in contact with them and communicate with them is there. The number you're dialing may be different as opposed to the front desk, but the ability to communicate with them is the same. And if there are individual issues with that and people have individual experience, I'd be happy to talk with you offline. But the ability to communicate and get that information to and from the Spring Point at Home team is available.
How soon would someone get back to you? That is my question. How quickly could someone get back to the resident and give them an answer? That is my question. I don't care if they're using a cell phone.
Right.
Someone has got to contact them, and there's got to be an immediate someone getting directly back to that resident. And I just don't see how that's going to happen.
Well, John, when you call the phone number, somebody will answer the phone, just like somebody at the front desk would answer the phone, and then they'll get in touch with the aide just like somebody at the front desk would. It works the same way. Works the same way.
Yes, they, again.
Yes, again, they will get in touch with them. But what is the turnaround time that someone, the person who contacts the aide or the aide themselves, gets back to the resident?
John, like I said, I think maybe we should talk specifics offline about this, but the ability to communicate is there, get in touch and be responsive exists exactly the same way as it did before.
I was told that, okay. About what we need to talk about.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's see where we're going next. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a related problem, but in a very different context. In the dining room, the staff is pretty good about always taking away the walkers from the table. They are, in my opinion, I don't use a walker. I have one. I use it if I have to get back from the bus with groceries. So I do use. Is this better?
You're good.
Okay. But they are, I would say, quite bad about returning the walkers. And this is too much information in this context, but I'm going to give it because otherwise you can't know it. But at the end of a meal, those of us who are older very often need the walkers in a bit of a hurry. And so it's bad if they are not returned. I am somebody who, not using a walker, have at least twice a week have to get the walkers of the other people at the table because we've tried hard to get the hostesses or the waiters at times. Nobody else can do it except somebody at the table who doesn't use a walker. And I think that we shouldn't be in a position where we congratulate ourselves on systems that aren't working.
Okay. Well, I think that that's continually a work in progress, Elizabeth, and that we do recognize that some folks have a more urgent need than others, shall I say that, and leave it there? And we are respectful of that, but by the same token, I do ask for a little bit of patience because, again, all of this was driven out of a need to ensure the safety of our residents. So we've got to find that balance. I hear what you're saying, and we try to respond as quickly as we can, but I do need a little patience at the same time because we have had situations where folks have not been patient and less than optimal results have occurred. So we ask for patience and diligence and recognize that we are going to continue to try to refine that process to get it even faster. Thank you. Ms. Schiff in the back, good morning.
Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
My name is Terry Schiff. My husband and I moved in 8 months ago. This was his first time needing a wheelchair because we're very far from everything. We are concerned with safety of the residents and the health. We've had an ongoing problem with maintenance. The latest thing is a piece of carpet in an elevator, in the A elevator, that was reported over the weekend or before the weekend to be lifting in a corner. I thought I caught my foot on it, but I wasn't sure. When I went the next time, I saw what it was. It gets up, gets pressed down. People are gonna catch their walker or something or their feet and fall. And it has not been repaired. I reported it to the desk again yesterday. That's the second time I did.
Okay.
That it wasn't repaired.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know about that. We'll definitely take a look today.
But there's more. Health. When we moved in, I felt my allergies were terrible because we live further north and it was colder. So the allergy season was different. I have spring, I have summer, and I have fall allergies. I heard last week that the filters are supposed to be changed every 3 months. We're here 8 months, and it has not had.
No, the filters, Mrs. Schiff, are changed usually twice a year, and we are in the midst of doing that now.
Well, wait, there's more.
Okay.
There's more. John, who was was on the job for the first time right after Thanksgiving, came to change the lights, which need to be replaced in the bathroom. And he said, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" I said, "Yes, if you can do the filters, because that went into a different book." And I was told when I put it in, you have to request it. He said, "Sure." He went into the one that controls the bedroom, but the living room on that side, and it was very dirty. Okay, it was very dirty. Then he went to replace the one in the other part of the apartment, because we have a big apartment. There was no filter there for 8 months, and I was breathing that horrible air for all that time. That's why I sound the way I do. And this is a health issue for many of us. There has to be some better way to do it. The other thing was, I requested an owner's manual or a copy of an owner's manual 8 months ago. for the range.
Well, I think
And
Mrs.
then
Schiff,
and then
yeah,
we're done.
and I think you and I have met about a couple of these things, and I'd be happy to sit with you again to make sure those things get
We
taken
didn't
care of.
discuss those things.
Well, we discussed other things, and I'd be happy to sit with you to talk about these as well.
I just wanted other people to know
Okay.
that they have to ask for the chair.
Thank you. Phil, is Phil next, or where are we going? Who's got, oh, ladies first, of course.
I just need some clarification. How would I benefit from choosing the option for the point?
Okay, so we're not gonna get into details about that today. We're gonna hold small group meetings about that, and when we do, we'll talk about all of those things then, I promise you, okay?
Gentleman Phil.
Ah, yes.
I was appalled this past week at dinner at a table for 8 when at the end of the meal, 2 people out of the 8 had reclamation packages with them. 6 people asked for boxes. I think you ought to reinstate a charge for boxes for going out because people are not being cooperative. There's no reason for that.
Thank you for your comment, Phil. Other comments or questions? Oh. You're gonna race? Don't hurt one another or anybody else. Hi, Ruth.
Hello. It's inevitable that electric cars are on the way. Is Monroe Village making any plans for charging stations here on the campus?
You're stealing my thunder, or my lightning as it may be. We are starting to plan for our 2025 capital budget, and that's something that will certainly be on the topic of discussion. Thank you. All right.
I wish I was 40 years younger.
Oh!
I want to shout out for Steve here. I made a request to have for some shelving in the village store, and he came up with it within a day.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to thank him openly for his help.
Great. Wonderful. And the village store, if you haven't been there, here's my plug for the village store. It's a great place to visit. It's a great place to shop. And it's all of, by, and for the residents. And it benefits the scholarship fund that the Residents Association puts together to help some of our younger folks, younger employees with their college or education expenses. It's a great way to get some good stuff at a good price and feel good about it at the same time. So go visit the village store, and they have lots of shelves.
And the workers are volunteers.
And the workers are volunteers, absolutely.
And they're open on Saturdays.
Yes.
Wait a minute, can I speak?
Sure.
I do work in the store every Thursday morning, and I've mentioned it even to Barry though. It would be nice to have a radio down there, to have a little background music, to make it a warmer feeling.
I will leave that to the purview of the Residents Association.
And a telephone also.
I believe there's one there that's tied to the fax machine.
It's not working.
Okay. Hi, what's up? Hi, Carol.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I was just wondering, maybe it's a little selfish, but I think other people would benefit by it as well. The bus situation. I find it very difficult to get on and off the bus. And I had heard last year that new buses were coming in eventually, but I'm wondering if they're addressing that problem.
So there is a new transportation vehicle that, it's unbelievable how long it's taken. That is going to replace the small, what I call the transportation little minivan looking like thing. The other buses are all new and they are not being replaced. If you have difficulty, there is the ability to use something with a lift, and we could put you on the lift to bring you up from there. They are all ADA accessible, all of those vehicles.
None of the ones that go shopping, they don't all have that back section.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could certainly look at that for you individually.
But I was asking about new buses coming in whenever that happens.
Right, there's a new transportation vehicle coming that will have the ability to support that.
That was my question.
Yep.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Other comments or questions? All right, well, it's been a great 90 minutes together. Thank you all so very much. Happy Flag Day again. Happy Father's Day to all the dads and grandpops and great-grandpops and and step whatevers and role model men in the room, okay? Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.